and it is. So I'd like to give you one like this, but it's not as difficult because it doesn't appear that that's the emphasis here. We may see it in another problem, but any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay. So let's say it's 2 times k plus 1 minus 5 over 3 equals 7 minus 3 minus k over 4. Okay. I'll help you through this one. What is the least common multiple between 3 and 4? 12. So you're going to multiply both sides by 12. But as I mentioned before, you really want to divide before you multiply.
4 and 3.
Yeah. It's good that you're willing to do that. Some students really aren't. It really is beneficial. So now you multiply the 4 times the 2 and the 4 times the minus 5. So that's 8
K
plus
1 20 equals negative
Oops.
or 21 minus.
Yeah, good. And so that 3 actually, there's really a 1 there. So you're going to multiply that out in front.
Okay.
Okay. So why don't you take the problem on from here and see what you come up with.
Okay. Okay, I got a answer.
What's your answer?
11 over 24.
Okay. So it looks like we got 8k minus 12 equals 12 plus 3k. So did you subtract 3k? Oh, you did not distribute the negative to both.
Oh,
Now maybe that answer would have been there. Maybe it wouldn't have been. We have no way to know. Okay, we'll come back to that at the end if we've got some more time. I want to make sure we get through all these problems. Okay, so these problems are going to be much easier at the moment here. So it says in the above equation, what is the value of x? Do you have any idea how to solve this?
find the column multiple, right?
You don't. So this one's different. You can actually cross multiply to do this. Is one approach. So like 3 times 60 equals 4 times x.
Looks like an atom.
Oh yeah. It's interesting. We actually don't know. The atoms are actually there's the nucleus and then there's everything around it. But we draw models. They're actually, the electrons are actually not quite distributed the way we think they are. They're more of a spherical shape. And so we just do this to make it sort of conceptually easy to understand, but it's actually not how they really work. They're clustered up more in a non-uniform distribution. Anyway, 3 times 60 is 180 equals 4x. And then you got to be able to divide by 4. This is not a calculator problem. So you would divide these by 2. And then by 2 again.
45? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you think, now that you see the answer, do you think there was another way to do this?
Yeah, I'm sure because you're asking that question, but no.
You're not seeing it. Okay. So like here's, so there's certain fractions you're supposed to understand. Like 3/4 is 0.75. Okay. So like if I said 3/4 equals x over 80, you're supposed to understand what like 3/4 of 80 is, maybe a little bit faster. So you say 60?
Yeah.
Yes.
60.
Right. And like 1/4 is 0.25. So if I want 1/4 and it's X over, I don't know, let's go 120. You may be able to think of a number that goes into 120 4 times.
30.
Yes. Okay, so sometimes you don't want to do this diagonal multiplication because it does
Take
slow you.
longer.
Yeah, it does take longer. Okay. Just looking at some of these problems here, just see what I see. Okay. Let's look at this one next. This one's sort of related. All right, if 8 over X equals 160, what is the value of X? My question to you is, can every number be written as a fraction?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you write 160 as a fraction?
160 over 1.
Perfect. So what could you do here? Could you do this same sort of diagonal multiplying?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, so 8 equals 160x. Okay, and then if you divide both sides by 160. Now, before you even do this, is 8 over 160, is it bigger than 1 or less than 1?
And it'd be D.
Be D. You don't even have to calculate it. Now, if there was another answer there, like 0.5 or 0.2, then maybe you would, but sometimes it is that easy. There's some things like that that you can really pay attention to. All right,
Cool.
let's look at another problem here. Okay, how do you, if A over B equals 2, what is the value of 4B over A? 2 can be written as a fraction, right?
Yeah.
2 over 1. Now, this is also kind of interesting. This right here, A over B equals 2 over 1. Watch this. If you flip the left, you flip the right. Do you see that?
Yeah, so it'd be C.
Yes. Okay, so let me have you try one here. If A over B equals 1/3, what is 4B over A?
Flip. So it'd be would it be 1 and 1/3?
So you flipped it. I heard that. B over A equals 3 over 1. So aren't we substituting for that? Aren't these the same?
Oh,
So I gave you something slightly different just to see if you would notice that.
15.
12. 4 times 3.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes the answer you give me will not be on the exam. So you don't, your guess there isn't really that bad, because you'd know to redo it. Okay. Let's look at another problem here. Okay. If 3/5 W equals 4/3, what is the value of W? Now, off to the side here, 3/5 W can be rewritten as 3W over 5. And so if this is 3W over 5 equals 4/3, can you diagonally multiply?
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that and solve for W, please.
So 20 equals 9 W divided by 9. So it'd be D.
9W equals 20. W equals 20 over 9. Yeah. Do you have any issues with vertical flipping?
No?
Okay. I know you've that sometimes you transpose words and stuff, but that's good. It is definitely D. Okay.
No, it's just like fine print little letters that aren't colored. Like I can read bold just fine. And if it has color, I can read it just fine. But
Yeah. Okay, so this is not the entire question, but what I want you to do is apply that diagonal multiplying that we've been doing. And I want you to solve for X for me on this.
so I just put X times 15 and 5 times X. Okay.
But that's in parentheses, yeah. Yep.
X equals 10.
Good. Okay. Now, what is X over 5?
It'd be 2.
Be 2. Good. Okay. That's great. We did that. We did that. Okay, we knocked that out. This one, this is everyone's least favorite. Okay, new question set here. So again, I would ask you, can you write 10 as a fraction?
Yeah, over 1. 10
over
over
1. So I want you to diagonally multiply and solve for t, please.
So t plus 5 equals 10 t minus 50. So add. So 9t equals 55 divided by 9. 9 over 55 or 55 over 9, I mean. D.
Yes, yes. Okay, good. Let's have you try another one here. All right, go ahead and give this one a try, please.
So 4. Would I be able to cross multiply there?
You can, yeah, you can if you want. It's not necessary, but it does work.
Oh, wait, no, I could just flip. So 0.5. Would it be D?
So you want to go with D, you want to go with number 4. So what I would do here is I would want to eliminate this 2 so I could get A over B. So the 2 is in the numerator, so you can multiply by a half. And if you multiply both sides by a half, you get A over B equals 1/4. And then you flip it. So B over A equals 4. Very good.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so here's another one. Here's another one that you can do. Let's have you try this one on your own. All right, go ahead and give that a try, please.
4t equals 15. I got t equals 15 over 4.
Yes. Very good. All right. We may work through this one together, but you may want to take a look at it now. So this one looks kind of different than the ones that we've been doing, but a couple things here. So whenever they have the same denominator, what can you immediately do to the numerators?
Add.
Or subtract in this case. So it's 7 minus 4. So 3x over 9 equals 1/4 plus 5 over 12. Now, what you could do is you could find the least common multiple of 9, 4, and 12, or you can reduce here. So that x over the 3 is divisible by 9, or I'm sorry, 3 divides 3 and 9 divides by 3. And then you have a little bit better least common multiple to figure out here. So what's the least common multiple now between 3, 4, and 12?
12.
12. So you're going to multiply everything by 12. But again, you want to divide before you multiply. Do you want to try tackling this problem from here?
Yeah, sure. So where x equals 12 over 3 plus 5 8 over 12 equals x equals 2.
X equals 2. Okay, so let's see here, 4x equals 3 plus 5. Yes, x equals 2. Perfect.
That took you a lot quicker than it took me. Crazy.
So you're much faster, much faster than when we first started, and that's another reason why most people see a significant improvement in their test scores after the first time they take it. It's just a little practice, a little bit knowing more about what to expect, and you're following those sort of natural guidelines here. Sometimes people need to take it a third time to get their best score. That's not unusual, but if you can get a really good score on the second time around, that's even better. Okay, so we're looking, this is not like any of the previous problems. Notice there's no equal sign.
Right.
And I don't know why this is organized in this problem set, other than it kind of fits, but we'll just look at the couple of these together before switching topics. So do you see that the bottoms are kind of the same, excuse me,
Yeah.
but the one on the left is missing a 2.
Mm-hmm.
So the top is also missing a 2. If you give a 2 to the bottom, you have to give it to the top.
So 10 over 2 parentheses x minus 1.
Yes. So equivalently 10 over 2 parentheses x minus 1 plus 8 over parentheses 2 x minus 1. That becomes 18 over 2 parentheses x minus 1. But notice that answer is not there. What did they do to get down to one of these answers, do you think?
Divide by 2 and it's a.
Yes. Okay. All right. So here is. So this one is kind of, I don't want to snip in the answers yet for this one. It's kind of the same type of problem. These are considered complex fractions.
Yeah, I struck.
Yeah, but what we can do here is kind of break this into another problem. So let's just look at this numerator. I'm sorry, denominator. So the denominator, it's kind of like the last one. We have to combine the bottom. We have to make the bottoms the same. So they're each missing something. The one on the right's missing an x plus 2. The one on the left's missing an x plus 3. X plus 3. Now notice in the last problem here, we never multiplied in the denominator. We just left it in what's called factored form. Same thing applies here. You're generally not going to like FOIL the bottom.
Okay.
So you're just going to work on the top. So the top becomes x plus 3 over x plus 3, x plus 2, plus x plus 2 over x plus 3, x plus 2. And then
So
since the bottoms are the same, you can combine the tops.
cool.
So you get 2x plus 5 over x plus 3, x plus 2. Now, if you go back to the original problem asked for 1 over the bottom. So 1 over a fraction a over b, you flip the fraction. So 1 over all this becomes
X plus 3, X plus 2 over 2.
2x plus, yeah, perfect. Just looking here, see what else we got. So we got a couple more problems here. Why don't you take a 2-minute break here, and we'll come back on the 28 and we'll keep going.
All right.
All right, you ready to keep going here?
Sir.
All right, we're going to switch topics to volume. Just do something completely different. They give you some formulas, I believe. I couldn't tell you exactly which ones. I should know, but sadly, I just don't remember. But this one, and most of these appear to give you everything you need in the question. You generally don't want to be searching back for formulas in problem sets like this. So this is a good example of a problem where you should read the question first, the last line first. Could you read
What is
that
the
for us?
prism?
So do you know the formula for volume of a prism like
Length
this?
times width,
Yep.
30.
And that's what all this previous stuff talks about. So if you read it, you just waste time. Now, sometimes you need it. So what is the final answer?
A.
It is A. Yeah. Excellent. Now, they're not all that easy. We wish they were, but that is not the case.
I'd have 6 if that was the case.
Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, I got this down. Okay, and so I do think you're going to be allowed to use your calculator on most of the ones we're about to do. So let's look at another primer. This is kind of like the last one. So I'll read it. A granite block in the shape of a right rectangular prism has dimensions 30 centimeters by 40 centimeters by 50 centimeters. The block has a density of 2.8 grams per cubic centimeter. What is the mass of the block in grams? Density is mass per unit volume. Is there anything in there that you did not understand that we should cover?
Maybe the density is mass per unit volume.
Density is mass divided by volume. You don't need to know this, but you want to remember it because it will save you some time. They're going to give it to you.
Per equals or is dividing.
Yeah, mass divided by volume.
Okay.
So the we're interested in the mass. So the mass is density times volume.
Yep.
Okay. So if you need to, you can draw the shape of this thing, but you really don't want to. Sorry, my thing just glitched there. You wanna actually find the volume without drawing this. What is the volume of this?
30 centimeters by 40 centimeters by 50 centimeters.
Okay, and then you have to take that number and multiply it by the density. What's the density?
2.8.
2.8. I guess I don't. I mean, there is a way to do this without a calculator. Like 3 times 4 is 12, times 5 is 60, and then you add in the 3 zeros. So see how that number is bigger than all of these before you multiply by the density?
Yeah, so it'd probably be D.
Probably be D. And I couldn't say for sure if you would have a calculator, but probably sounds reasonable. Let me have you try this one on your own. So go ahead and read it to yourself or out loud if you want, but just give me your final answer whenever you're done.
What is the volume in cubic centimeters of a right rectangular prism? It has a length of 4 centimeters, 9 centimeters, width and height of 10. 4 times 9. 6 times 10 is 360.
Yes,
360.
360 centimeters cubed. Okay, good. All right, so we're back to a density problem.
What is
Good.
the volume of a neodymium magnet is 2.5 cubic centimeters and its mass is 18.5 grams.
So they did not give you the formula for density. What is density?
D equals M
M over
over
V. So I guess you might want to write that down in your notes. I thought they would give it to you in all the problems.
D equals M. Oh, I was gonna say V over M at first, but I didn't. What is the density in grams per cubic? So I just put the
Which one is the mass?
18 or no 2.5 over 18.5 or the other way around.
Yeah, so you gotta this is like if one of those things where we don't use grams very often, but grams are mass. They're like pounds. They're
Okay.
metric. And that's how you do it without knowing the formula, because grams per cubic centimeter tells you the units. It tells you grams per centimeter cubed, and you've got 18.5 grams over 2.5.
Would
So
that
with
be B?
yes, just using estimation, that's B. Good. Let me see if there's any more of those. Okay, we're going to go to other types of shapes here. So I'll give you the formulas as needed for these. All right, so I want you to read through this one and tell me, what is this shape, please?
A manufacturer makes two different sizes of spherical, so it's a circle or a ball.
Sphere, like a basketball is a sphere. Now they give you the volume formula, but they may not give it to you in this problem. It's 4/3 pi r squared h.
This is for a sphere.
Yes. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. This is wrong. This is me being tired and not telling you the right form. It's 4/3 pi r cubed.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. All right.
Equals 4 over 3 r cubed.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Now keep reading. If the radius, go ahead and keep reading from there.
If the radius of the larger ball bearing is twice the radius of the smaller one, then the volume of the larger ball bearing is how many times the volume of the smaller one? 2 times, right?
No. give me a smaller radius. Pick a number for the smaller.
8.
Okay, that's too big. Let's go. let's go with 4 and 8 because the larger one is double.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when you put the 4 into this formula, you get 4/3 pi 4 cubed. Okay. And when you put it into the larger, you get 4/3 pi 8 cubed. Okay. Do you know 8 cubed? Do you know 4 cubed?
4 cubed would be 4.
64. So the bottom is 4/3 pi times 64. The top, do you know 8 cubed?
No.
Okay. So that's one of the dangers with just picking numbers here like this. So it's 256. Okay. And then, no, it's not. Is that right? Let me check this here. Wow, I am having some trouble today. It's 512. That's why I was like, that's not working.
Exactly half.
Yeah. Okay, now it wants how many times the volume of the larger one, how many times the volume of the smaller one is the larger one. So do you see how these 4/3 pi cancel?
Yeah.
So now
That
you
just
just need, yeah, what is 512 over 64? So notice the size of the numbers really matters. Okay, so it would have been better for us to choose something like 2 and 4, something a little more manageable, because then we would have gotten the 4/3 pi. 4 cubed is 64, 2 cubed is 8. And these are a little more manageable numbers for us.
okay. A smaller.
Yeah, so you could have even gone 1 and 2. That would have been okay as well. But you're dividing 64 and 8, so that is
8.
8. And this is 8 as well on the right. It's just that order of numbers does matter.
Otherwise you'd get like a very small decimal.
Yeah, now this is what's interesting. So we doubled the radius. And what is the radius in our problem? What's the exponent?
Cubed.
Cubed. So is 2 cubed 8?
Yeah.
Yes. So I want you to keep that in mind for this problem. You don't actually have to do any of the calculations that we just did.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
2 beach balls are in the shape of a sphere. The larger beach ball has a diameter of 3x and the smaller beach ball has a diameter of x. What is the ratio of the volume of the larger ball to the volume of the smaller beach ball?
So again, what is the ratio of the
3 to 1.
3 to 1? And what's the volume formula is 4/3 pi r cubed. So you're going to cube that 3. Which number is 3 cubed?
27.
27. So the way it works is if it's this is kind of the summary. If you're doing a length to a length problem, it's always 1 to 1. Okay. But if you're doing an area problem, an area to an area, it's squared. So power of 2. And if you're doing a volume to a volume problem, it's cubed.
Okay.
And this is the shortcut for these types of problems.
So just cube the bigger number usually.
If it's a volume problem, you're going to cube power of 3.
Okay.
But generally that's fine. So it's like this. Let's go back and look at a problem we did earlier. That one's too big. Let's go look at this one. Okay, so let's just say we're not doing this problem. Let's just say every side is doubled. So that means it's now 12, 4, and 6. I know you can multiply those three numbers together, but if you're doubling each side, it's 2 to the power of 3 bigger. 8 times bigger. And I think you said this was 36.
Yep.
So when you multiply 12 times 4 times 8, you're going to get 8 times 36. So have you got a calculator handy?
Yeah, I just typed it in.
What
288.
is that? 8 times 36?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you tripled every side, it would be 3 cubed or 27. There's a shortcut there.
Okay.
You may or may not get one, right? Like, we don't know. This is like one of those things where I, have to caution you, like, might work, but we're not sure. Okay. Let's look at another problem here on volume, but it's with a formula. It's a literal equation. Okay. So the volume of a sphere is given by the formula V equals 4/3 pi r cubed, where r is the radius of the sphere. Which of the following gives the radius of the sphere in terms of the volume? Basically, you need to solve for r up here in this equation. Do you want to give this a try on your own?
Sure.
Okay.
I got D, but I might have put the pi and the volume in the wrong spot.
Yeah. So what I would tell you to do is clear that fraction first. So
Or C. D, sorry.
so you multiply both sides by 3/4, so that gives you 3v over 4. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
When you divide by pi, that pi really goes up into the denominator. So it's 3v over 4 pi. And then you undo cube with a cube root.
D.
Okay, so let me give you another one here to try. The surface area of a sphere is, surface area is 4 pi r squared. I'd like you to solve for r in this one.
Okay. R equals square root. R equals square root 4 pi.
What about this over here on the left? If
Oh,
you don't
shoot.
like it, let's call it S, maybe to make it easier. Do you have an answer? Or do you need some more time?
I got it. 4 pi over S.
But you're dividing both sides by 4 pi.
Oh, I'm bringing it over now.
Yeah, so it's S over 4 pi is r squared.
Equals R. S over, or square root S over 4 pi equals R.
Yeah, so r equals the square root of S over 4 pi. The problem with this is that 4 you can actually take the square root of.
And put it 2.
Yeah, so it might actually be like this: S over 2 square root pi. It might be 1/2 square root S over pi. There's a couple of ways it could appear. Not super important, but that is it. So, okay, this is a good question for us to do on this topic. Okay, go ahead and read the question for us.
The glass pictured above can
Nope,
hold
nope, over here on the right.
What is the value of K in centimeters?
Yes. So K is some dimension of this thing. This is actually called a frustrum, which looks more like a wastebasket to me. It's a cone with the top cut off. It's a frustrum. So the question is, how do we solve for K? Well, they have to give you more information, which is over here on the left. Go ahead and read that now.
As pictured above can hold a maximum volume 73 cubic centimeters, which is approximately 16 fluid ounces.
Now, is K in ounces or centimeters?
Centimeters.
So we want to use the 473 as the volume because it's centimeters cubed.
Can I cube root it?
Not yet.
Oh, I'd plug that in for K.
Not for K. It's for the volume. So
Oh.
you have to solve for K, and this is definitely a calculator problem. Meaning that, you know, when you manipulate all this stuff on the right, you're going to have to eventually pull out your calculator and get an answer. So go ahead and try that and see what you come up with.
Oh boy. So V. I'm just gonna turn. Can I just turn volume into V, like a capital V?
Yes.
48. Divided by 7 equals. Okay. I got V times 48 or square root or cube root.
Yep.
V times 48 over 7 pi.
Okay. So now you have to be able to enter that in your calculator. The way with yours you would do it is 4. You do parentheses 473 times 48 divided by parentheses 7 times pi, close parentheses, caret 1 divided by 3. There probably is a cube root, but this would also be
Times.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't find my pi button.
You got a TI 80 something?
No, I found it. I found
You
it.
found it? Okay. I could direct you to it.
Do the carrots. Where's the carrot button?
Where or what is it?
Where is it?
That's a good question.
New calculator. Sorry.
Yeah, we will definitely cover calculator stuff, I guess, next time. That's okay. Don't worry about that. We'll do a problem with calculator stuff. We'll just do a whole lesson on it. That'll help you. I've got a calculator I can pull up, but we're pretty much out of time. So let me have you do a couple of easy ones, short ones here. Maybe this will be our last.
Found it. It's above the division sign.
Okay. Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't even have one out. What did you end up getting for an answer?
I actually pressed the clear button because I went to press the clear button. I can do it really quick if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and do it real quick. That'll and
48.
we'll talk about how to retrieve it next time a little faster.
7 times pi. Do close parentheses?
Yeah, because you're closing the one on in the numerator, or the one up, because the whole thing is to the power of 1/3.
1/3. Divided by. Okay, I got 10.1.
Yes, so letter D. All right, fantastic. So we'll do some calculator stuff on Thursday. Remind me if I don't start there, but yeah, that's important for us to do. All right, Elijah. Hope you have a good couple of days. I'll see you then.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye now.